Hey guys, I am so excited to be talking to you today about the law of cosines. All right, and let's remember the law of cosines basically is b squared, for example, equals a squared plus c squared minus 2ac cosine of big B. All right, and this is, of course, when you have a triangle A, B, C that is non-right. And this is little b over here, little c over here, and little a over here. Okay? And so obviously you can rearrange these. For example, c squared equals a squared plus b squared minus 2ab cosine of c. So it just depends on which side that you want. Okay? So we're given this problem. The problem is you got something kind of like this. We've got, this is B, it's 36 degrees. You got 7, 5, little b, c, and a. Okay? And the question is find little b. Okay. Find little b. So how do you do that? Well, let's remember, we've got b squared equals a squared plus c squared minus 2ac cosine of b. And most of the time when we're working with law of cosines, you have this kind of SAS format. You got a side, an angle, and a side. Okay. So we know, therefore, b squared equals, so a in this case is 7, c is 5, big B is 36 degrees. So this is going to be 7 squared plus 5 squared minus 2 times 5 times 7 cosine 36. Okay? Therefore, b squared equals 49 plus 25 minus 2 times 5 is 10, so this is going to be 70 cosine of 36. Okay? So therefore, b squared equals, let's see, this is going to be 74 minus 70 cosine 36. At this point, I'm just going to put it into my calculator. 74 minus, so we got 74 minus cosine 70 cosine of 36. Make sure your calculator's in degrees, and we're given that b squared is 17.4. I'm just rounding up. Now, here's the deal. If b squared is 17.4, remember, b, you have to take the square root of both sides. So b itself is actually ends up being 4.2 when you take the square root of 17.4. All right, so those are the first kind of problems that we're going to deal with, and let's do another one. In this case, we're given a problem. It says, solve for the missing pieces for triangle FGH if G is 82 degrees, little f is 6, and h is 4. And we're just going to solve for the whole thing. All right. Well, the easiest thing to do here is we're going to start off with the fact that what's the missing side? FH, the missing side must be G. So G squared in this case would equal F squared plus H squared minus 2 FH cosine of big G. All right, so now we can just fill in the blanks here. So we've got G squared equals 6 squared plus 4 squared minus 2 times 6 times 4 cosine of 82 degrees. Cosine of 82 degrees, okay? Then the next thing here that we're going to do is just put it in. We'll end up with G squared equals, I'm just going to put it into my calculator here. So we're going to have 6 squared plus 4 squared minus 2 times 6 times 4 cosine of 82. G squared equals 45.32. And we take the square root of that. It's about 6.7. All right, so we have G. Now we need to find the other two angles. Now, beautiful thing is, if we think about it, kind of it's set up. We got F, G, H here, and this is, of course, little h over here, little f, little g. To find the other angles, we can use the law of sines, right? We now know that G is 6.7. We know that big G is 82 degrees. And so how can that help us is that if we already know what H and F are. So we can just use law of sines to find both. So how do we do that? Or we can just use law of sines to find one. So we're going to do that by saying, okay, sine 82 over 6.7 equals, let's do H first, sine of whatever big H is over 4. Okay? So now we're going to cross multiply here, which gives us 4 sine of 82 equals 6.7 sine of H. Right? We're just cross multiplication. We then are going to divide both sides by 6.7. And as a matter of fact, I'm going to erase because I'm going to get to that so we have enough space here. But basically, we're going to have sine of H equals, let me see, over 6.7 is going to be sine 82, obviously times 4, right? And if we put that into our calculator, we can see that H is going to be inverse sine of the whole thing, which if you put that into your calculator should yield about 36 degrees. And that's how you find H. So now check this out. We know what G is, we know what H is. We know what G is. Big angle G, obviously, is 82 degrees. And we know angle H is 36 degrees. To find angle F, which is the only thing that's missing at this point, all we got to do is do 180 minus 82 minus 36, which yields us 62 degrees. Okay, real simple. Not too bad, really, for this problem. There's one more type of problem. We'll be done. We'll be done with this video. Let me make sure that we clear that off here. All right. So next thing is what if instead you're given three sides? So for example, let's say I've got B, C, 9, 16, 10. Okay, it's not a great triangle, but you get the idea. Let's say I want to figure out the angle measures. A, B, and C. I want to figure out the measurement of these three angles. How can I do that? Well, I can actually use the law of cosines again. Let's start with A. To do angle A, let's think. We've got the formula little a equals b squared plus c squared minus 2bc sine, cosine of big A. We don't know what big A is, but we do know what A, B, and C are. So A in this case, little a is 16, little b is 9, little c is 10, so we can just fill in the blanks. That's going to give us 16 squared equals, let's see, 9 squared plus 10 squared minus 2 times 9 times 10 cosine of A. Remember, we do not know what A is. That's what we're trying to find out. Next, what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and bring as much as we can over to the left side. So to do that, first thing I'm going to do is just multiply everything out. 16 squared is 256. 9 squared is 81. 10 squared is 100. Minus, let's see, that's 18, so 180 cosine of A. Then you add these two together. It's going to be 181, and we're going to subtract over. So we're going to have 256 equals 181 minus 180 cosine of A. We then subtract 181 from both sides, which gets us, let's see, 181 minus 256, 75 equals negative 180 cosine of A. All right. So then from there, we're going to divide 180 on both, negative 180 on both sides. So we have negative 75 over 180 equals cosine of A. From that, obviously, then we're going to have cosine inverse of negative 75, 180. Remember, the inverse of cosine is cosine inverse. And then we put it into our calculator. So you're going to hit set the second button first. Then you're going to have negative 75 over 180 degrees gives you about roughly 115 degrees. Remember, angles have to be in exact degrees. All right. So, you're going to round to the nearest ones place. Okay. So we've got A is 115 degrees. Now, I know that was a lot, but it's easier now that we've got 115 degrees for A. We can do what we can to the rest of them in terms of law, using the law of sines. Make our lives a whole lot easier. So we know A is 115 degrees. Going back to our little diagram, this is A, this is C, this is B, 16, 9, and 10. I can use the law of sines to find one of them. I'm going to use the law of sines to find B. So I know A is 115, so I can say sine 115 over 16 equals sine of B over 9. Cross multiplication. Equals divide everything on one side that you can. 9 sine 115 over sine It would be, we're going to use inverse sine now. So let's see, it's going to be inverse of whatever 9 times sine 5 all over 16 equals b. And it turns out when you do all of this, you end up with about 31 degrees for b. All right, now, last but not least, it's real easy. 180 minus 115 minus 31 should give us about 34 degrees. And that's how you do it. All right, don't forget to like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, do all of the things, and I'll see you all next time.